When you are interviewing for a job, you should have at least 10 questions in your head at any time that you can ask the interviewer. Hey guys, it's Dan Greer with Forge coming at you today for your 5-minute power up. I'll get enough fingers up there in a minute. 5-minute power up today. And today we're going to be chatting all about interview techniques, how to do great on interviews, what to do, what not to do, and how to absolutely be amazing. All right, let's dive in. So let's think about this for a second. If you're going to do an interview, like, I want you to reverse shoes for a second, because I'm telling you, I've never actually did this as somebody who was being interviewed until now. I interview people to hire them. And when you reverse the roles, when you get somebody that is a really great interviewer and they are really good at what they do, like, they have questions to ask and they actually care about the role and they've read the position, they know what the opening is, they know where they're going, what they're doing, how to get there, all that stuff. As an interviewee, somebody who was interviewed a lot for a lot of positions, passed over for a lot of positions, I could never understand why. But now I know why, because I never came with loaded questions. I didn't read the job description before I went into it. I didn't go do the web search on the website to see what they had. And I'd show up with wrong information. And when you give wrong information, that's worse than not giving any information. I remember this one time I interviewed with San Juan County Sheriff's Office. And I'd done research, man. And I'd done a ton of research on them, a ton of weight research on them. I thought I'd done a ton of research on them, but I hadn't actually called anybody that worked there. I hadn't done any of that stuff. And I saw that they had one helicopter on their website. And I was like, oh, they have a helicopter. That's super cool. And so during the oral interview, I get in there, I get past the first part, I'm at the second part, I'm at the oral interview, and as I get to the oral interview, I'm talking about stuff, and I bombed it hardcore, man. I sucked it up so bad, I didn't even get anything. But anyways, I digress. And I'm sitting there in this interview, and they asked me, they're like, what do you know about us? And I'm an idiot. And I go, well, you guys have one helicopter. That was what I said. That was what I know about them. They're like, well, actually, we have 3. What else do you know about us? I didn't know how many deputies they had on the road. I didn't know their motto. I didn't know their organization. I didn't know the sheriff. I didn't know shit about them. I was unprepared. And the guy caught me as I walked out. He's like, dude, I really like you. And like, you got a lot of opportunity, a lot of potential. And I want to see you come back here because I think you'd be a great deputy. But like, you bombed out on this interview hardcore. And I'm going to tell you what you can do to get better. And I said, cool, I appreciate that. And I listened to what he had to say. And I'll tell you what, man, I listened to what he had to say as he coached me. And he gave me such good advice. He was like, man, you first off, fold your hands, put them in your lap during the interview. Be present. I don't care how much nervous energy you have, be present. And I never became an SO, by the way, a sheriff's officer. I never became a police officer. I'm glad I didn't. It wasn't the right route for me. But, and I'm glad I am where I am today. I wouldn't be doing this if I was in that role. But anyways, it was one of those things. It was like he gave me some great advice as to what to do and how to like carry myself. Okay, but he didn't give me advice on like how to ask quality questions. He didn't give me any of the advice to really give me where, like, what a business owner is going to look for when they interview. And so as an interviewee, you want to come loaded for bear. You want to know a little bit about what they offer, what their website is, and maybe not give them suggestions about how to improve, but ask them what their 1-year plan is. Ask what their 5-year plan is. Where do you guys plan on being in 5 years? Don't care about you as much as you care about them and the company, because their success is your success. I'll say that one more time. The company's success is your success. And you have to realize that. And until you do, you will fail. Because you are not going to be happy at that company, because all you care about is yourself. And when you stop caring about yourself and you start caring about if the company succeeds, you know what happens? You succeed. Massively. You succeed massively at that point. Because the company is succeeding and you care about the company's success. So during the interview process, that's what you need to do. You need to have some good quality questions, carry yourself with integrity, do your homework on the company before you get there, know what the job role is, and don't apply for it if it doesn't meet what you want. If they say the pay range is $18 to $22 an hour and you want to be at 40, then don't apply for that job. You guys, that's my advice for you. Hope it helps. Get out there, kick some butt, ask great questions. We'll talk to you later.